The future of enterprise AI may have very little to do with AI itself, because once you have a model, a much harder challenge begins, connecting that intelligence to enterprise data, business context, applications, workflows, and doing all of it securely. That's the problem Snowflake is trying to solve. And at Snowflake Summit 2026, the company unveiled what might be its clearest vision yet for how that future works. Welcome to Tech Brew. In his summit keynote, CEO Sridhar Ramaswamy argued that becoming an agentic enterprise requires 4 key components: enterprise data and context, AI models, business applications, and what he called an agentic control plane that brings all of them together. And according to Snowflake, that's the role it wants to play. At Snowflake Summit 2026, the company unveiled a series of announcements around AI agents, governance, real-time data, and interoperability. Snowflake is positioning itself as the control plane for what it calls the Agentic Enterprise. So what exactly does that mean? To understand that, we first need to look at how Snowflake itself is evolving. Most people know Snowflake as a cloud data platform, but over the last few years, the company has been steadily expanding beyond just storing and analyzing data. Today, Snowflake serves nearly 14,000 customers globally, and more than 13,600 accounts are already using Snowflake's AI capabilities on a weekly basis. The company recently expanded its partnership with AWS, committing up to $6 billion in cloud infrastructure spending over the next 5 years as demand for AI workloads continues to grow. At the same time, Snowflake has also been assembling some of the missing pieces needed for enterprise AI. Last year, it acquired SelectStar, bringing deeper metadata and business context capabilities into the platform. More recently, it announced plans to acquire Natoma, a company focused on secure connectivity and governance for AI agents. And then there's Anthropic. At the summit, Snowflake and Anthropic highlighted their growing partnership, with Claude models increasingly being used inside Snowflake Cortex AI. The relationship is actually a good reflection of Snowflake's broader strategy. Anthropic provides the reasoning models. Snowflake provides the governed enterprise environment where those models can safely interact with sensitive business data. And that brings me to the announcements unveiled at the summit. The first piece of Snowflake's vision is CoWork. Formerly known as Snowflake Intelligence, CoWork is designed for business users and knowledge workers. It acts as a personal AI agent that can reason across enterprise data, perform research, automate workflows, generate reports, and deliver personalized insights. The goal is to move beyond static dashboards and create a more proactive assistant that helps employees make decisions and take action. The second piece is CoCo. Formerly Cortex Code, CoCo is Snowflake's coding agent for developers and builders. It extends everywhere developers and business teams actually live, from VS Code and Claude Code over to Slack, mobile, and yes, even Excel. The idea here is simple: help developers build applications, automate workflows, and operationalize AI through natural language interactions rather than traditional development workflows. Now, alongside CoCo, Snowflake also introduced Data Stream, a fully managed streaming service compatible with Apache Kafka, the industry standard for handling massive real-time data pipelines. This may not be the flashiest announcement, but it could be one of the most important. Ramaswamy also made an interesting observation during the keynote. He said the goal is to create systems where data isn't simply reporting what happened yesterday, but helping drive proactive decisions in real time. And that's where Data Stream fits into the picture. Data Stream allows organizations to bring real-time data directly into Snowflake, enabling AI applications and agents to work with continuously updated information instead of relying on static data sets. Now, the third piece of Snowflake's strategy is shared enterprise context. One of the biggest problems in enterprise AI today is that systems often lack the business context needed to generate useful results. A model might be intelligent, but it still needs to understand how a business operates. That's where Horizon Context and Cortex Sense come in. These capabilities are designed to create a shared understanding of enterprise data, relationships, and business context across the organization. In Snowflake's view, context becomes the layer that helps AI reason more effectively and generate more relevant outcomes. And finally, there's the trust and control. As organizations begin deploying more autonomous AI systems, governance becomes critical. Snowflake announced new AI security capabilities, agent identity, enhancements to Trust Center, and broader governance controls designed specifically for AI agents operating on enterprise data. The company is also continuing its push around interoperability through Apache Iceberg support and other open data initiatives, allowing organizations to access and govern data across different environments without creating multiple copies. Alright, that's a lot of information. But when you step back and look at all these announcements together, a pattern begins to emerge. CoWork gives enterprises AI workers. CoCo gives them AI builders. DataStream provides real-time data. Horizon provides shared context. And the governance layer attempts to keep everything secure and compliant. Together, they form Snowflake's blueprint for what it calls the Agentic Enterprise. Snowflake has been investing in AI for years. What's different now is the role it wants to play. But if you look at the whole ecosystem, Snowflake isn't alone in seeing that opportunity. Companies like Databricks are making a similar push into enterprise AI, while cloud providers are increasingly embedding AI capabilities directly into their own platforms, which means Snowflake is competing to become the layer enterprises choose to build on top of. A layer where developers can build, business users can work, agents can operate, and enterprises can maintain control. The challenge for Snowflake is that each piece of that vision is difficult on its own. Building a successful coding agent is difficult. Building a successful knowledge worker assistant is difficult. Creating trusted business context across fragmented enterprise systems is again difficult. And of course, convincing enterprises to allow AI agents to take actions on critical workflows may be the hardest challenge of all. But when viewed together, the summit announcements reveal something important. Snowflake is talking about an architecture for how enterprise AI should work. Whether customers buy into that architecture may ultimately determine how important Snowflake becomes in the AI era. If you found this episode insightful, I'd love to know your take. Is Snowflake building the missing layer for enterprise AI, or is this a role that'll eventually be absorbed by the cloud giants? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed these deep dives into technology and business, consider subscribing to Tech Brew with Vandana Nair. And I'll see you in the next one.